Hello, guys. Good morning. I hope you all had a nice weekend. Today is 14th of July and it's almost 10 minutes to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So, what's the key news today? EU Mexico tariff, China trade, Bitcoin, what's moving the market. So, these are the key points which is moving the market. Bitcoin is at all-time high. I think if I'm not wrong, it hit 122K. We'll look into it in a few minutes. Trump targets Mexico, EU with tariffs. US futures following renewed tariff worries. China trade surplus grew in June. Good. Bitcoin surge at start of crypto week. Okay. Right. So crude gains ahead of Trump major statement. Okay. So oil is higher. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think he is going to announce something today. If I am not okay. Trump is due to make major statement on Russia on Monday, having expressed frustration with Russian president. So that's in the making, news in the making. Right. Okay, let's see what else do we have. All right. Okay. So that's the thing. I mean, I'll focus on that. Okay, let's see what we have on the calendar. So Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500 weekly preview. So this is the preview. Q2 season. So Q2 earnings season is coming. Yes. So this week is the start of the Q2 earnings season. Right. We will look into the earnings as well. Let's go and let's talk about what's on the economic calendar. So tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., we have core CPIs, and then FOMC, a lot of FOMC members speaking. Then we have core PPI on Wednesday, PPI, and then we have core retail sales on Thursday. So this week is full of economic events, right? Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiments and inflation expectation. So those are going to be key. Right, let's see. Okay, so the forecast for core CPI is 0.3%. Previous was 0.1%, which is a little higher. Expectation is a little higher month over month from 0.1% to 0.3%. Year over year, 2.4 to 2.6%. So those are the one. And then we have core PPI from 0.1% to 0.2%. 0.1% last previous one to 0.3% forecast. Retail sales are expected. Last time it was a negative 0, minus 0.3% to positive 0.3%. So that's where we are. Let's look at what do we have here. Let me go to profile. All right. There is, okay. Earning calendars. So we have, let's see the street. Okay, let's see. So week starting with major financial, airlines, pharmaceutical and technology on the radar. So earning week start. So all financials. Then we have technology. Then we have Bank of America, Goldman Sachs. Then we have Johnson & Johnson, Morgan Stanley, United Airlines, Taiwan Semiconductor, PepsiCo, then Abbott. And then we have Travelers, Netflix, American Express, 3M. So those are the earnings. Wednesday. So these are the before market, after market, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Right, guys? And then Tuesday, tomorrow, we have a couple of Citibanks and all those, right? Let's go here, guys. And let's do one thing is let's look at the probability map. The probability map for July 14th to 18th is suggesting that 14th Dow, S&P. So 72% of the time Dow is up, 69% S&P, and 73% of the time Nasdaq is up. A bullish day. Then we have We have on tomorrow 60% on Dow, 48% on S&P, and 57% on Nasdaq. And then on 16th we have 47% on Dow, 47% on S&P, 51% on Nasdaq. So it's mixed to bearish. So that's how it's going on. Appreciate you guys following me on Twitter, YouTube, and so following me on Twitter, YouTube, and visiting my website. So guys, if you are not following, please follow, like, subscribe, and that helps me produce more and more content. Sorry, exactly. This summer has been a little bit busy. I'll try to do as much as I can periodically, not on a daily basis. But I'll cover a lot today. So let's go and let's look at. So let's start from futures. So my favorite MNQ, which is the micro E-mini Nasdaq 100 futures. It's been rising in a channel. We hit the top of the channel. We remain in the mid channel. Then we came near the lower part of the channel. Then we hit the top of the channel. And then if we fail to break further higher today, then it will come down to test these previous highs, previous all-time highs. Right at the moment, we are at 22,900. So on the downside, we have 22,750.60 as a support, right? That's where it is. Now, both the channel is rising, prices are rising. They can intersect at some point. Once it breaks the midpoint, like here, then it tends to go towards the higher end, right? So let's see how it goes. Let's look at the MES, S&P 500 futures. We are same thing here, close to the highs, to the upper channel, testing the mid-band. Probability is to hit the lower end at some point, right? As of today, the lower end is at 6238. We are now at 6282. Okay, so let's go. Let's look at the QQQ. So QQQ, which is the Nasdaq ETF, close to the base, which is at around 551, so I'll say 552 to 551. If this is taken out, then probably we are heading for a retest of 539, 540, the previous high. If it doesn't, then we are going further higher. Okay. So we'll keep an eye on 551, 552. All right, let's look at S&P. So sorry, SPY. So SPY, the S&P ETF. In this case, we have a larger channel. Within that larger channel, we have a smaller channel. We have penetrated the support of the channel. That means we are actually heading for a corrective move down to 613. We are at almost 614, 615. We are at 621.93. However, having said that, there is a possibility that we may spike up before we come down. Where it comes to volatility, volatility is dying. It may pick up with the tariff uncertainty, but we are at the lower end of the volatility, UVXY. Now let's look at Tesla. Tesla has a tendency of making triangle formation. So see here, got into a triangle, we broke down here. So downtrend, continuation pattern. Here it was a reversal pattern and then moved higher. Let's see what happens here. If let me see what's happening on the 4-hourly. On the 4-hourly basis, we are coming around 319 and 322 resistance. So if we fail to break this one, we're going to fill this. We have filled this gap. So basically, we may come and we find some support around 312 before breaking this to probably go higher. Tesla's earnings are later this month. So Tesla earnings are 1 second. So it is actually on June 25th. So it will be June 25th means next week. It will be probably Wednesday if I'm not wrong. Let me check. So, sorry, it's on 1 second. Let me see. Did I see it? Sorry, it's, 23rd of July, so it's Wednesdays. Okay. Okay, that's basically the quarter end is the June 25th. Yeah, so period is June 25th, so Q2. Where it comes to NVDA, very comfortably going into rising channel. What we do is we rise through the midline, we come back to retest it. Are we going to retest this time? We have yet to see. If we come back to retest, then 160, 161 is the support level. If we don't, then we can go further higher to 172, 174 target, which I mentioned in my last tweet. All right, let's look at AMD. AMD is coming around a point where it has failed to break so far. So AMD has failed to break 147, 147, almost 147, 148, and 147 again this time. The AMD fails to break this one, then we can see a good drop in AMD. Right, and if we drop, then we are talking about coming down to, let me see, where is this trend line taking us? So if we drop, then we can come down to somewhere around 142, 43 level. Right. Okay. Alphabet is just coming close to a couple of attempts. It made a couple of attempts to break 178, 179. Again, you see 181 here, 180 here, 181 here, and we're coming into that resistance. If we break through, then we have a larger move on the upside. Otherwise, we will be hovering around this level and probably come down to 173, 174. In the case of Broadcom has actually broken this support. It's a bearish wedge sort of a formation. As long as it remains below 276, 277, the probability is 270 is on the radar. Okay, Apple, I haven't done a lot of work on Apple, but the thing is, it looks like it's squeezing in between 214 to 207. Apple's earnings are also due sometimes next week, if I'm not wrong. Let me see. Oh, earnings is there. Okay, let me go to daily. Okay. So Apple earning is on 31st of July, right? So it's due soon. I'll do a later this week, sometimes this week, into Apple and Microsoft. Microsoft is comfortably going above, holding this line, struggling a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Amazon, after a rectangular formation, it's again finding some resistance around 226, 227. Let's see if it can clearly break 226, 227 today. The other part is gold is ranging between 3433, 30 to 3245. It's actually a little bit down. It has the resistance around 3365. So we are almost 3352 at the moment. We fail to break 3365. We can see a good dip to at least 3298. Light crude finding resistance around 70. Okay, dollar index DXY is challenging this resistance, which is around 98. If it breaks, then 99 is on the upside. US bond, 10 years bond yields is ranging between, is around 4.43, but see, it's a small range. So 4.26 on the downside to 4.51 on the upside. Let's look at the Bitcoin. In the case of Bitcoin, Bitcoin has been in a good impulsive move. Bitcoin actually hit 123, so to 123K almost, and now it's actually facing resistance around 123K. If it fails to break 123K today, then we can see a little bit dip to probably 116K. Right? So that's what it looks like. Let's see how it goes. Have wonderful trading days and trading day, and I'll try to do as many as I can do during the week. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.